into the live because you have to turn it sideways. Anyway, and sometimes it doesn't want to register that I do actually have my camera sideways. Sorry about the weird angle. Um, uh, okay, there's a dress code for the chat room, guys. So you gotta have your sports coat and your tie on. I'm not in the chat room, so make sure you guys are dressed up because I am watching. Anyway, guys, I'm at a campground. Um, a very nice one, actually. Uh, let's see. Let's turn this around so you kind of see my get up here. I have the hex fly on this time, and my Hennessy hammock and stuff. I put up the hex fly. I had plenty of time. There's an actual campground a little farther down, just along the same beach here, and right on the other side of this is a main little park with gazebos and people set up their food stalls and stuff like that. And I just found this location and I was like, score, I'm staying here because well, one, the trees, you got your option of the trees, which ones you want, but they have great tie-off points. 1, 1, 1, 1. So that's why I took advantage of the hex fly on this one. And I was score. I thought score because there's a wind barrier between me and the water here. I'm gonna do a little walking around. So hopefully I don't get too pixelated. And I give you a whole little view here. Hey, Expat Pete's in. We've been waiting on you, but now we can start the show. So yeah, I found this spot, put up my my Hennessy hammock. Like I said, the spot that's on Google Maps, it's marked down as a camp area. It's just a little farther down that way. Primitive campground, so like a camping spot, not a pay-for one. So I'm assuming that everything pretty well along this area because people pull off in here with their cars and they go to the beach right here. So I lucked out because this wind barrier it would block any of the wind coming off you can see the water right through there to where I'm at. But funny thing, all the wind's coming in this direction. so much for the wind barrier. But I'm going to show you the water here. Sorry, it's just a little bit of walk. It's not really that far. It's just, look how beautiful this is. Man, this is a clean beach and very clean water. This is where I washed up last night. Yeah, just right on the other side of the building, it opens up to nice problems. And here's something you don't see a lot of. Completely clean water. Like nothing floating around in it. Nothing like that, man. I mean, you can actually see down to the actual sand underneath it. Really seen clear water like that in a long time. Oops. Let's see. Hang on a second, guys. I don't know if I lost signal or something. It just spit out that I'm live again. So I have my other phone back at the camp. I'm gonna go over there, see what happened. See if I lost signal. Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I must have lost signal down at the beach because I think it kicked me off the live for a second there. But and of course I left my phone way over here. So yeah, I'm trying to show a little bit of the surroundings, but I'm not keeping in mind that the signal might not be the best. Yeah, I was trying to eat all my ramen. That was one of the things I was trying to downsize is so one thing that you really don't need when you're traveling through the developed countries is you don't need to carry a cooking set. And I think that's kind of odd because it's definitely a comfort thing. So what I mean by a comfort thing is you can just pick up food. Especially if you have pannier bags. You can just hit a street food spot, right? Pick up some nice cooked food, wrap it up, throw it in your panniers, and bicycle to whatever location that you're going to be camping at. I mean, it doesn't even take that much pre-planning. It's just as the sun's going down, you're like, okay, let's stop at the 99, Speedway or Speed Mart, or get some stuff to drink for the night. These are awesome. The 100 Pluses actually became my favorite. So yeah, you just need bottled waters always. You always need water and some of these, and then just pick up some food off a street vendor and then take that out to wherever you're camping. There's no point in carrying around propane or butane or the little, any type of white gas cooker. I was carrying, because it's the minimum amount, I was carrying a cold soaker with a spoon. I mean, which is like the minimum amount. But really, that's just a comfort item. That's if I want to, chop up some garlic or something like that and cold soak some noodles and stuff. But I don't really need to do that because I can just buy hot noodles off of someone for just as cheap, It really is. I mean, after they prepare it for you and all this stuff, it's coming out really cheap because they're adding other stuff to it. So yeah, so I was like, I'm just gonna eat up all my noodles and stuff and stop carrying around food. And I don't need a cold soaker either, And but it's funny because you still see people carrying around full, No, I'll carry my hammock and stuff. So that's something I have to carry because that's a sleeping quarters. Sorry about the shaking. But yeah, but I don't know. I guess that just doesn't make sense to some people because I remember everybody giving me I won't say they were giving me a hard time, but it was like not registering in their head. I'm like, I'm going through a developed country. There's food all around me. The only concern I ever have is water. And sometimes that concern's a little too much. Yeah, that's what and the thing is like Malaysia is actually more expensive to go into, like if you want to try and go into a spot like 7-Eleven or something. Now 7-Eleven, you can get cheap food and good food in like Thailand and stuff. The selection's really big and stuff. Here in Malaysia, it's all overpriced. Probably they probably tax. Cambodia does this. They tax the foreign food that comes in, so it's cheaper to actually get off locally based food. So like if you go, so it's probably similar to Cambodia. You go into 7-Eleven stuff, first their selection just stinks. Family Mart's better. But their food's is way overpriced. You can get twice the amount for half the price off a local vendor, and you could be supporting that local business. You know what I'm saying? Like that pizza spot. Oh man, that was like the best pizza because I've been craving. For some reason, it's like, okay, I grew up around American pizzas, Italian style pizza, and coming to like Vietnam and all, they make some type of weird pizza with like corn and shrimp on it, and they use some type of mayonnaise on it, and it's like, this is not pizza. And then they cook it in like an air fryer, and I'm like, this is not pizza. So that spot I went to over Air Papan, that was real pizza, man. That was real sauce, real, I mean, he just chunks of mozzarella. He's just cutting up mozzarella on top of it. That was so good. I mean, I was like, I've been wanting some of this. So yeah, I really enjoyed their pizza. I'm not just, not just blowing hot air to hear myself speak here. Yeah, and so yeah, you need to carry water on you. Uh, so I've been doing this for a minute or two. One of the things about like when you're going out in the bush and stuff like this, one of the things that helps pass the time is bushcrafting and stuff. And usually you start by learning shelter basic buildings, like how to make debris huts and stuff like this. But your essentials that you have to learn are like the rules of three. That means you can go 3 minutes without oxygen. You can go 3 hours without shelter. That means from the cold usually. Heat, you can last longer. 3 days without water. So water's like way up there. 3 weeks without food. And I would put 3 weeks without some type of human sociology. Otherwise you start going a little bat crazy. But those are the rules of three. But anybody that's been in any of those situations know there's a different formula to it. So yeah, the rules of three is, yeah, you can survive that long, but 80% of survival is mental. So it's your mental attitude. Honestly, it's just straight 80% of your survivability is all in your head. So once you start toying with like, yeah, you can survive 3 days without water, but after your first day, that's all you think about is just water and how miserable everything is. So your 80% survival rate diminishes really fast because that 1 day without water. Yeah, you can go 3 weeks without food, but the thing is after the first day, honestly, after the first day, all your mindset is, I'm hungry, and it preoccupies your brain, where your survival ability, that 80%, is just like, phew. So the rule of three is true, but it's not practical. So that's just something you learn when you're doing it. I've been in situations where I didn't have water, and that's actually the worst, honestly. But I've done fasts, like water fasts, where like a full fast without water. That's not really good for you, but the only way to do like where you do a full fast with no water is you have to water pack. That means you have to, before you go on that fast, you have to pack your body and hydrate it to the point of being saturated before you ever do anything like that. But buying coffee? Okay, I'm going over some of the questions, guys, right now. So 100 plus, though, what I was mentioning about the 100 plus is it's got stuff in it, and that's one of the things. That's one of the things you learn is your body's gonna digest water a lot faster if it doesn't have things in it, like sugars or anything. So like the best water that's easiest to process on your body is I'm trying to think, like rainwater. the type of rain that it doesn't have no minerals, nothing in it. But anyway, 100 plus has a bunch of garbage in it. The only thing that offsets the fact that your body's gonna slow down on absorbing this because of what's in it is the fact that it's carbonated. Now carbonation will actually open your esophagus down here like with a belch, and that causes everything to start processing through your body faster. So it kind of is offset by the carbonation. So that's better to How much money do I spend on buying coffee? Not a whole lot. Honestly, I'm not like I now. Well, hang on. Let me. If I was to actually throw coffee and energy drinks together, then quite a bit because all right, my caffeine is I don't stop at the store, the coffee shops as much. Although they're really cheap here. You're talking about you can get a coffee for less than $1. Um, just pick it up on any street vendor. Uh, you can get an iced coffee for cheap. So I usually end up buying those stings because they have ginseng, B vitamins, and caffeine in them. So those are kind of like my addiction. But also, I've been getting in the habit of buying the little coffee, the 3-in-1, and to just eat it raw. Right, that's what I just ate 2 of them raw. So, yeah, I don't. At first, when I was traveling, people were interested in how much I actually spend. So how much I was spending on places I stay at, all this stuff. So I was doing the math for a while, and just doing a tally and stuff like this. And but I was also trying to tell that's not what people practically do. You see, I'm not. They're not, unless you have children and you're on a very tight budget and you're trying to balance a checkbook. Well, I mean, we don't have checkbooks anymore, but the same concept still exists. Where you're living hand to mouth and you have children you have to worry about and you got to make sure they're fed before you're fed and all this stuff. Then, and this is very common in America, is that you don't buy food, you budget food, because you can't afford the food that you're buying, so you have to budget everything. Then that becomes more practical, knowing every little penny that you spend. But the thing is, the average person, and I am the average person, you just know what your budget is. You know basically, you know where your lifestyle is and what your the amount of money that you have and stuff, what lifestyle that affords you, and you always choose the cheapest option. I know that Doug from Planet Doug was asked the same thing, and he said the same answer, and I appreciate that because it shows that the people that are trying to live are not trying to budget every single thing. They just like, okay, this is how much I can afford, and I'm going to try and always stay under that by always choosing, because the more you're under that budget that you can afford, then the more freedom that allows to get an extra, step up a little bit in your meal or something like that once in a while. But yeah, we don't budget everything. We don't take it down to the pennies and stuff like that, because that's not living. That's not what the average person does. They don't penny pinch like that. Like I said, unless you got kids and you have to, right? But yeah. So how much do I spend? I don't know. I just know that I'm spending less than I can afford, and that's the main thing. Is I know I'm spending less than I can afford. So. Yeah, Flea. Okay, you're not. Okay, so Flea said the upload backlog is causing strange effects on me. It's like a time warp watching videos that are live streams. Alternatively, yeah. So I know one person, Bayou Tom, he couldn't get the because I was doing the premiere, so he couldn't get his head wrapped around the live and the premiere. I'm like, well, no, premiere is pre-recorded, so it's like 2 days back of backlog, right? And I'm just doing the premiere basically. I'm doing the premiere so I can open up the chat room, and while I'm riding my bike, I'm going to kind of stay live with everybody, because I'm trying to keep this as interactive as possible. So starting this daily live stream is my step in that direction. All I need to do is to strap a GoPro to my chest for 24/7, and then I'll be set. You know what I'm saying? Take out the middleman of pre-recording and editing. They have a movie like that. It was, I think it was Tom Hanks was in it, but I was like, yeah, that would be a cool concept though. Turn it off for like, bedtime or something. But it's like turn it on as soon as you wake up. Turn it off when you go to bed. I don't know how much data you would go through, but it would be interesting to do that for a while. See if you could actually do it. You'd have to carry around a battery bank in your backpack though. No, I mean you go through a lot of juice, but you could do it because Doug mentioned some of these packages, these 9-day packages offering 2,000 and 3,000 gigabytes worth of information, uh, like within a 9-day period. So like 3,000 gigabytes, and that's basically leaving your camera on all the time and just doing a live stream 24 hours. And so you could possibly do it. They would probably throttle you back though, but I don't know. And then you'd have signal lossage and all this. It's the impracticality of it would be kind of, but yeah. So the actual set of like the time warp effect is being felt by other people. Like I said, Tom was mentioning it. Like he's like, wait a second, what day is this? I'm like, no, we're watching day 69 right now, but I'm actually on day 70 something. I think today's like 73 or something. I better figure that out. It's doing the same thing to me. I'm actually physically trying to remember, so when I start to do the editing, I have to go check the last, video and remember which day it was and all that stuff. And yeah, so. But when I can get it caught back up, then when I'm only 1 day difference, like like in the morning I live stream, but in the evening you'll see that day, then that effect won't be that bad. But the thing is I do have one that I was able to upload last night, but same deal, all night with the camera, but it didn't reset that I know of. It was just very slow. So I have let's see, that was the gear video, which I'll post right after this. And then after the gear video, I have one more video that I have not made the thumbnail for. I just basically, so I need to make the thumbnail for it, but I'm getting faster at the thumbnails. I just basically go to ChatGPT, say, hey, this is what I did for the day. Please give me a title and a thumbnail markup. Not a thumbnail, because they're ChatGPT is limited on how many times you can do that per month, and then it wants you to pay. But if you ask for a markup idea, it'll do it, no problem. You can have those as many as you want. And then I swing over to the I take the markup idea, I choose which title I like out of the 4 that ChatGPT gives me. I pin that in my on my keyboard, and then I take the markup idea and I run over to vidIQ and I post it in their AI drawing program, and then I go over to Canva and I do the AI on Canva, and then I compare the two, which ones did a better job, and usually then just slap a picture of me in one of the corny those corny ass things. But you'll notice I use the same one over and over again. Sometimes I'll mix it up and just take an oddball picture, but it's the same thing. It's putting your face on it. And then the flag, and I put in the Malaysian flag. So that was Ali. Ali mentioned to do that just as a visual hint, for the Malaysians. Hey, this is about Malaysia, and it actually works out. So I put that always in the title and on the thumbnail. But like I said, I do listen to suggestions and stuff when they're not stupid. Trust me, if you guys read all the comments, sometimes it's like the ones that are the funniest are the ones that are definitely ones, if you watch more than one video, you would have the answer to. It's like, which camera are you using? It's like, The same one I've been using the last 50 times I've been asked. Uh, but then like Doug has jumped in and says, I think I can answer this for him. Yes, Doug, you can answer any question that you feel like. You've more than earned that badge of honor around here. You can answer all my questions if you want. Yeah. I'd make you a moderator, but I don't want to moderate my board. I mean, really, it's like, unless it's an obvious, like someone's trying to sell something, or maybe I'll take down that if it's just like spam. But honestly, no one's really going to hurt my feelings, and if they do, I'm just going to lash back at them. I do, I'm human. I'll lash back at you, but then again, I'm not going to hold it against you. One of the good things I always grew up with is, which is crazy, is I can't stay mad at a person for more than a day. It's like too much energy to be spent. I mean, it's just natural to me. Some people can hold grudges. I can't. I can be angry at a person for 24 hours. After that, it's gone. It's over with me. So I don't know why that's always been that way, but it's a good thing. It's actually because a lot of times, sometimes it's your fault and you need to, go back and apologize and stuff. So anyway, how long have I been on? Almost a half an hour, guys. If you guys want to know where I'm at, I updated where I'm actually staying in my Google Maps. So just open up my Google Maps folder, which is in the description of any of the videos. Just says Google Maps Diary. You'll see where I'm pinned at. Turn on the satellite view and you'll see exactly the trees that I'm actually staying in. I think there's still young trees in the satellite view. Yeah, Flea, yeah, moderators, the only thing about the moderator is like, okay, you can put in trusted viewer. Like I put in a few people trusted viewer just because they were having a hard time posting links and stuff. But the thing is, I don't moderate I want everybody to feel the freedom to say whatever they want, even if it's directed at me, but, and also I'm not really going to stop anybody from infighting with each other either, because I'm trying to keep an open board. Yeah, some people might feel that that's a a hostile environment. I'm allowing a hostile environment, but no, I'm just allowing an honest environment. If you want me to take something down, I think you can take your own comments down anyway. I think you can delete any of the messages that you post. So if you post something you don't like, just take it down yourself. You're a big boy or a big girl. Do it yourself. But if you leave it up, then and someone. But anyway, the blue wrench I would only actually do. Put a blue wrench on someone's name just to show that I've given that person like a badge or something, saying this guy has the authority. Like when it comes to Doug, that's like I said, Doug's been with me a long time. It's like when I first started, Doug came in and just right off the bat started giving me great advice about the problems I was having on YouTube and the places that I was going. He knew, because this is his stomping ground, So he knew about all the spots I was going through. He gave me good advice. And so I've always appreciated Doug. I mean, Doug has been a bigger help to me than anybody else. And so when it comes to answering my question, anybody in the comment section, he has the full authority to jump in and say whatever he wants. And if you know Doug's like a super polite guy. Very level-headed, very intelligent, Wikipedia type knowledge. So so the only reason I give him a blue wrench is to show that, oh, this guy has like some authority here on this board, to that way it's a visual cue that that he has the authority to answer whatever questions he wants and stuff like that. But then again, it's like then again, that like I said, I don't really need moderators because I don't even moderate myself. I mean, I've taken down one thing because he was trying. They were trying to sell me on someone to help. Like when I first started doing the YouTube, they're trying to sell me the whole packages. Oh, we'll run your YouTube channel for you. We'll do all the thumbnails and all this stuff. And I don't know what's inclined to everything they do, but I was like, nah. It was just basically a cold call, trying to sell me stuff. Amway, YouTube Amway. Um, so, yeah, and that's the thing is honestly, it's like we almost have too much of a peaceful community here, I hope that's not because anybody's afraid to say anything, because, it's like, what would I say? I think I put it like negative input, but I didn't mean negative. I just meant like, when you have someone that's giving you feedback like, oh, you should stop doing this or something like that, that you can really, that actually helps you a little more, because when they can point out things that you should not be doing, I'm blanking on the word again. You guys know what I'm talking about. And then you can change those things, immediately. I mean, it's nice to hear, oh, you did a great job and stuff like this, but that doesn't change anything, But when someone says, hey, you need to work on your audio or something like this, and then you're like, oh, okay, right off the bat, you're able to change something improves, And so that, man, I don't even know, I can't think of what the word I'm thinking of. I don't want to call it negative input, because it's not negative at all, because a positive always comes out of it. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, Doug says the thing is that he says the main thing is that I type really fast, so I can easily to jump and say things like he uses a Pocket 3, especially when it's constructive criticism. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. So the word I was thinking of was constructive. So constructive criticism is better. I mean, it's criticism, but there's always a positive that comes out of it, because it's helping you build something. Where the positive input's great and stuff, but it doesn't do anything. It just makes you feel better. So yeah, constructive criticism is by far more valuable than anything else. So, sorry, I got sidetracked. Yeah, the main thing is I type very fast. It's easy to jump and say things like he uses a Pocket 3. Yeah, and especially when it's a question that's been asked over and over and over again, and this is probably the first Hammock Mountain. Hey, brother. So this person's only watched one, maybe two videos, and they jump in and start asking all the questions that everybody else has asked like a million times in the past, and I think you could probably write a very short book, but a book nonetheless on the most common questions everybody asks when they first watch a video, So yeah, that would be, what camera are you using? How do you make your money? How much do you spend? All these things. But yeah, no, I definitely appreciate when you jump in, but I still have to put a little heart and just to acknowledge that I read it. Yeah, constructive criticism is the word I was actually looking for. CS. Yeah, friendly advice. Yeah, but it's I think constructive criticism is the perfect word for it, because that's what it is. It's criticism, but it's in a constructive, helpful manner. And yeah, so anyway. Yeah, and that's another thing that I'm seeing on Planet Doug says you can put tons of information into the video's descriptions, which I have been for a long time. But people rarely check their just human nature. I don't even personally check descriptions of videos. I look at the thumbnail, I click on it. If it has a good title, I follow all the rules of the how sheep follow other sheep. Nose to butt, follow the one in front. I do the same thing with all the videos, but. Um, Yeah, so like I have a tendency to put big descriptions. I have most of it. I just cut, copy, and paste because that's my. If you know, I do like the Strava, but then I do the relive. So I have all those. Hey, join Strava, join relive. Then I do the Google, my journal, my Google Maps journal, where I put a pin in every location that I stay that night, with a description. So it's like a video log of. Google Maps journal. Yeah, that's what it is, or diary, or whatever you want to call it. That was something that just kind of started forming. I started doing that when I was in Morocco, I think, is when I first started, just the places I was staying, no description. And then Spain, I did it all the way across Spain. I think I might have dated them, like which date it was, but no description. It wasn't until Japan, when I got to Japan, I was doing the Komodo Kodo. That's when I started actually putting in the description. I realized, hey, I can use this as a journal. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to carry around anything. Because when I looked across Spain, the little blue dots formed a nice little line that went all the way across Spain, from France all the way across. I'm like, that's cool. So it was just something that, so now you can throw those in separate folders and stuff, each place that you go to visit. So that's what I do. I need to actually open a separate folder of all the places, like the whole world, that way I have one that I can access, just shows everywhere I've been. So I'm going to do that, because you can put one dot in multiple locations. So all I have to do is go through all my folders and just open a separate folder. Yeah, so that's also in the description. So it's like even the Strava and the Relive, I don't think, there's probably about 4 or 5 people that actually check that. I know you do, Doug. I think Ali does. There's a few people on Strava that do. But honestly, it's probably a lot of work for nothing, because no one checks descriptions. But I don't know how the description actually affects the visibility of your video. I was told it does. But then if it affects the visibility of your video, then what exactly needs to be in it and what shouldn't be in it? Like, I think, was it Flea mentioned? No, it wasn't Flea. It was someone else mentioned that if you start putting outside links in your posts and stuff like that, to things that are outside of the YouTube platform, they see it as a parasite. Like, they don't advertise it as much if it has links to outside, like advertisements or places or something like that. If it stays within the YouTube world, then they'll actually show your post to more people. So I stopped posting my relives and my Strava links because of that, but I might go back to it, because I don't know, otherwise it's pointless actually. Now the relive I like, because I put that at the end of my videos. The Strava is more detailed for the people that are actually seriously wanting to know where I'm going. Google Map pins are very nice to have, as we can see your progress when cycling. No, that's something I'm not getting rid of, though. I'm not getting rid of the Google Maps, because I enjoyed it. That's actually, so it's something that started as something I do. I decided to share. So yeah. But eventually, like the gear I cut back on, I'm gonna have to cut back on some of the information on my editing and stuff. Yeah, I'm going to put this out there, guys. If you don't if you guys haven't actually talked to Doug from Planet Doug and stuff, he's always in my comments and stuff. He is, I don't know where he finds the time, one, to research all the information that he has. He knows so much about, I mean, I know I've watched him go to like the museum and stuff like that, where you had to pre-call ahead and get all permissions to go into a museum and stuff, which I thought was kind of crazy. I think that was in Malaysia, but so he goes to places like that where I have a tendency not to go to as many museums and stuff, but other than that, he just seems to know a lot. But if you ask him any question, he's one of the few people that I know that'll sit down and write you out a well thought out, well researched, and usually well informed. And if it's not well informed, he tells you that this is his opinion or whatever, comment. And it's usually, fairly lengthy, but it always has really good information in it. So, so that's why I said I always appreciated any of the information that he had for me. Was always, he's like, I'm sorry, I write very long. And I'm like, no, I need that. I need something that's been, instead of just something like, hey, thank you, hey, what's up, brother, like what I do, hey, thank you, brother, take it easy, brother, that's something. That's one, because I'm trying to get through all the comments. I'm still trying to keep up with all the comments, which I can barely do, but it still takes me a few hours. I got 4 questions from do one. Oh, you got me an ask. Doug saying he has to. Let's see. I have to send out a call for questions for the Planet Doug Ask Me Anything video. I didn't do one for July because I was cut off from the internet in Sumatra most of the time. Is that the one you're doing on your podcast? To Ask Me Anything? Because we'll have to throw up a link to your podcast. If you guys don't know, he has two. The podcast is great, but like someone said, you got to take it in sections because it's like 3 hours long. But I can kind of do that because I'm on a bicycle. So, hey, Doug, you need to start live streaming though. Do like an Ask Me Anything live stream. I'll definitely advertise it on my channel. Give me a heads up. Tell me you're about ready to do it on like the Telegram or something. I'll try and check that daily now. No, I would really appreciate it. I definitely like to see a live stream coming from you. I got the 10 o'clock area, so I claim between 10 and 11. So that's my time. But yeah, I want to see you start live streaming again. That would be cool. And especially if it's after the 11 o'clock time, then I can just bicycle and join in and listen to the conversation and stuff. But yeah, so anyway, that's my request, Doug. I'd like to see you do live streams again. Yeah, I forgot Patreon. That's right. You're doing the Patreon. That's right. I don't do Patreon. I haven't figured out Patreon. Well, actually, I haven't even put up like a membership or anything like that. They said, I still have a. I'm trying to think of how to word that. Yeah, I'm not doing the membership Patreon. I know someone said you need to do Patreon and stuff. I tried to do it, buy me a cup of coffee. I couldn't set up the account being in a foreign country and all this stuff. So, but the fact is, I don't want to litter my board with too many things asking for money. If I need, just not right now, because the membership, I don't offer anything for membership. Patreon, I don't really offer anything. I haven't learned how to set it up yet. But also, I just don't want too many links of things asking for money. But I guess I should start figuring these things out. just because this is my education, this is my school, and right now I'm building a business, and I guess that's what it is, right? YouTube's just a business. You start building on it, and these are Patreon and channel membership are two of the things I need to know. So yeah, sorry Doug, I forgot that you do the Patreon. But if you want me to throw up any type of advertisement on your Patreon account too, just tell me. I turned off the community button because what was mentioned and noticed about vidIQ mentioned this, and a few other posters that went with that information that vidIQ I think put out, is that there was a 14% drop in how much they advertise your post as soon as you flip on the community button. So they said keep off the community button because of the reduction in the amount of people that it sees. Now the post, from what I understand, is when you post something, it's only really sent out to 1,000 people, and those 1,000 people are usually your subscribers or something. And then after those 1,000, it's like sporadic after that. So I don't know how much. So like that's a possibility why you guys are getting my post late, like a day late, is because it goes out to 1,000 of my earlier subscribers. I don't know. You know, it should just go out to the people that are watch every day. You know, that's not that many. It's like they said, loyal viewers are at like 0.03%. You know, on the analytical, and everyone else is just casual viewers. Which is good. That means I can keep up in the comments section. Yeah, Hitlist said the same thing as, hey Hitlist, yeah, we needed some live streams from Doug. So that's my request, guys. Doug, do a live stream. Don't leave me out here by myself doing these boring ones. Jump on right after me, that way everybody can feel like they, you know, after watching my videos and having their IQ plummet, they can have it brought back up by a good live stream from Planet Doug. So, alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and finish. I'll give you guys one last look at my camp for the ones that are coming in late here. There's my Hennessy hammock with hex fly, and that's in the nice beautiful area right down by the beach. So I'm going to relax a little here. I got 30 kilometers to get to the city, and once I get to the city, I'll do all the catch-up work on getting my videos edited and up. I have 2 videos I can throw up. I'll space them out a little bit, but they'll both be up. I need to work on the thumbnail on one of them. But right now, I'm just going to actually relax here, since I only have 30 kilometers to go, and maybe do an evening run out that way. All right, guys, I'm going to say hasta la bye-bye, and speak now or forever hold your peace. I'm going to check the chat room. I'm going to Kuantan today, even though I really like it here. Like I said, water, shower, bathroom right on the other side of this. I really do like it here. So I could change my mind. But right now I'm just going to lay here, work on my editing on my phone. But yeah, I mean, I have enough to actually stay here another night if I wanted to. But I'll decide on that later. If I tell you the answer now, then it'll change by the time, you know, it'll change in 3 hours, like it always does. Alright guys, yes, but I am planning on going to Kuantan today, just because, you know, just because that's where the internet's at. Alright guys, peace out y'all, and I'll see you tomorrow.